Borderlands 3, but every time I level up I lose everything, episode number 7. And starting from last time, as I have just gotten myself to level 29, and I've now gotten to the Carnivora, so I can rescue Tannis from pain and terror. And luckily enough for me, in this place there are no things where I have to go clear an area, so I just run through the entire place without fighting anyone. And a short while later I reached the Carnivora vehicle, which is basically just a town on wheels, but also with a giant spiky skull, so it's scary. Then I jump in the golden chariot, and it's now my job to take out this giant monstrosity on wheels, or treads. And now I have to destroy the first part of it, which is 3 different fuel lines, and luckily for me they are glowing red. And not only that, they are also on the easiest spots to hit on the entire vehicle. So, thank you, I guess. And after doing that, I take out the transmission, which stops the entire thing. And I'm now realizing that this thing has absolutely 0 defenses against any attacks. It has a couple cars that drop down, but no turrets or people sniping me off the top or anything. It's got to be the easiest part of the game. There's nothing to fight except a couple different cars. Ah well, less work for me. So, time to head inside of the Carnivora and go straight for Pain and Terror. It's literally the same name basically, so who fucking cares. And thankfully, once again, inside of the Carnivora, there are no places where I have to clear out an area. It's just such a big problem in this game that it's a relief when it doesn't happen. Then I press button over and over and over and over again, and finally make it to the boss room with Pain and Terror. Pain and Terror are the best characters in this game, full stop, and the boss is basically just Pain and Terror controlling a giant robot, which is pretty sad, but I end up just destroying the entire robot while using the Moxie weapons that I got last episode. I feel like this would have been a much harder fight if, it actually attacked, because I didn't see it attack once, and the only time I got hit was when my back was turned. I don't know if I just killed it too quickly or what's going on, but again, it was just a super easy fight, and then I finally get to the point where I just 3-hit the core of the Agonizer 9000. Then we find Tannis actually showing everyone that she is indeed a siren. I mean, she's been doing siren shit the entire game very clearly, like charging vault keys and draining the Grave Ward. So I mean, this big surprise was not needed. Wait, no, sorry, I'll retry that. Oh my god, no way, she's actually a siren? Never saw that one coming. I mean, everybody since Borderlands 1 thought she was a siren, so wouldn't even be surprised if she came out as a siren in Borderlands 2. So I quickly killed Terror, and I move straight over to Pain, and he looks weirdly similar to some guy named Pen. Bang. But then I level up to level 30, and that is mission complete, and I have to now drop everything. And because I'm a moron and checked Pain and Terror's weapons before I leveled up, I forgot they were there and didn't grab anything, so I head to the vendors in Sanctuary and grab myself a Vladof assault rifle. Then I head over to the Splinterlands and farm Road Dog, because he of course drops the Hellwalker, and that is an excellent shotgun. And after over 10 minutes of farming this guy, I finally get it, and this thing looks absolutely beautiful. Then on my way to the Devil's Razor to talk to Vaughn, my game crashes, and I'm pretty sure it's because it would rather kill itself than have Vaughn talk in its game, but that's just my theory. And the best thing about crashing is that it takes 5.5 whole minutes just to get back into the game. And as I'm defending Roland's Rest, I mean, no one cared about Roland in the first place, but anyway, I decide to test out my new Hellwalker, and it is insane. These poor fuckers just explode as soon as the bullets touch them. And now it's time for me to go to Conrad's Hold, and we're going here to go collect something important, I assume. It's just that in this game there is so much shit talking that at this point I had gone completely brain dead and I have no idea what's going on. I'm just kind of looking at my minimap the entire time and going to wherever the diamond is. And after over 5 minutes of just constantly running past a bunch of COV, I make it to Sandblast Scar, and I have to now drive Vaughn's Technical. This thing has gotta smell like shit. And the current objective says to drive the reactor to safety, so I will do so. And I'm guessing the thing on the back of the car is the reactor, so all I have to do is just not let the car explode at all. Fuck. But I can just respawn it with the reactor on top of it, which definitely makes sense and is totally fine, so I won't say anything about that because it could take me at least 10 hours to explain everything wrong with what just happened. And now I have to go back to Sanctuary and go on the bridge, because if you don't go to Sanctuary, it's not a main mission. Then we see Troy pulling in the moon with Maya's powers, and I understand that he's being pumped with iridium, but I'm also realizing that Maya was absolutely dog shit with her powers. But anyway, now it's time for me to head to the Cathedral of the Twin Gods, because Troy needs to bloody die. Then I make it to level 31 and now have to drop everything, because we're back at it again, with the need to clear out a bunch of areas for no reason. And now that I have no guns left, I head to Road Dog to get myself my second and final Hellwalker, because of course I made that rule last time, where I can only have the same weapon on 2 separate levels maximum. But then an eternity later I make it to the Great Vault, because now it is time to meet our friends Tyreen and Troy. And this time I won't just sit there and watch someone die just like Maya did. It's my time to fight these bastards. And with my first shots from the Hellwalker actually hitting a boss, I realize it is of course very amazing, but it's not that great. Then a little while later, after going through what seemed like 50 of his invincible stages, I finally kill Troy. Then Ava goes to see if Troy's okay, because I don't know what's going on there, and she ends up getting Maya's powers. And if Ava is the next playable Siren in the Borderlands series, I will stream myself jumping off of a cliff. Then Lilith rocks up looking extremely jealous as Ava gets powers, but she can't even get hers back. And now all of this starts happening, and I don't know exactly what's going on, but I really want to know what the fuck my character has been doing this entire time. Like, is my character just taking a shit in a bush nearby while all of this is happening? Because Tyreen is walking up on all of my friends, just about to kill them, and I guess I'm just sitting there eating popcorn or something. It's gotta be the funniest thought in the world. Just imagine my character in the bottom left of the screen, just sitting in a chair, just watching, holding a bucket of popcorn. It's fucked up. I don't know where my character's supposed to be, but it's definitely not here. And oh shit, they're all dead because she put a bunch of boulders on them. Classic villain move, chuck a bunch of rocks on them, assume they're dead, and leave the place. Also, is she just ignoring my character sitting out in the corner somewhere? I guess she doesn't care about me. I am the only one that actually poses a threat to her, but that's alright. Pretty sad that all my friends are dead though. Nah, of course they're fucking not. She just left a bunch of rocks on them and assumed them to be dead. And no offense to Gearbox or whoever made this damn game, but were you expecting a reaction of like, oh my god, they actually survived, thank god, Ava actually overcome her fears and used her powers to save everyone, some shit like that. All the cutscenes in the story in this game absolutely do my head in, but the gameplay is good, so I'll continue. And I'm gonna skip the entire way all the way to Tyreen because it is unbelievably boring. And if you've played the game, you know how boring it is. And if you don't think it's boring, you're wrong. But basically all I have to do is go back to the Seraph homeworld, planet, whatever, then find some gremlin looking motherfucker named Typhon DeLeon, who was the first Vault Hunter, and surprise twist, he is the father of both Troy and the other one. I'm having a mental blank, I don't know her name. And with Typhon DeLeon, I just go do a bunch of Vault stuff for an entire 55 minutes straight. And none of that was including the half an hour of just a bunch of killing random COV and Malawan dudes. And after watching Typhon DeLeon die suddenly, which no one expected, I now have to fight Tyreen. Tyreen is her name, now I remember. And starting the fight, I was a little bit scared, but then I remember that it's the most anticlimactic fight in the entire game, seeing as she was, well, pretty much easier than every other boss in the game. And I've just got shitty weapons still. Imagine the people who are playing the game normally and have a plethora of legendary items. And that's not actually the end of the game, because I have to go back to Sanctuary for the fucking 4 billionth time and talk to Ava and Tannis about Lilith being dead, even though for the 4th game Lilith isn't going to be fucking dead. But anyway, I open Lilith's legendary chest. I get a bunch of shite. The mission is over and I finally have the card that tells me I have finished the normal playthrough of this game. Finally. Now, if you're a Borderlands 3 fan, I am sorry. I may have just shit on your game, but it's because I was hoping this was just going to be a short playthrough, just a quick little fun. I can use a bunch of different weapons and I can do this pretty quickly. The levels weren't the problem. The guns weren't the problem. My struggling against bosses wasn't any problem. It was literally just the insane amount of story and talking and heading back and forth from Sanctuary, and the literal 10% of this entire 20-hour run was just loading screens. Each one takes 1 to 2 minutes. It's pretty bad on Xbox. But anyway, that's the end of the video, and next time I'll be doing a Borderlands 2 video straight after this. And I will be doing more Borderlands 3 stuff. It's just, I was hoping this was going to be quick, and it was very, very, very long. And when I get the Xbox Series X, I'll be doing plenty more Borderlands 3, because I think it's a really good game. It's just the story that sucks. But anyway, if you got any tips on maybe skipping some of these story things, or anything else, that will be greatly appreciated. But if you got any challenge ideas also, either for Borderlands games or basically anything else, that will also be very greatly appreciated. There will be a new Borderlands 3 challenge after the Borderlands 1 challenge. And thank you for watching.